We have a great speaker here by the name of Paul Finck. He comes, where are you guys located now? Florida?
Connecticut.
Connecticut, that's right. Connecticut. So Paul Finck has got some very inspirational stuff. I've been at his meetings. We had one out in Vegas some time back that we went to, and it really changed my life from the standpoint of him saying, hey, Dan, you know, what's going on? And he picked, 3 or 4 people out of the audience and said, tell me about you, your business. And he was able to nail really the problem areas of what they needed with the people. Even my sister went, how could he know that? Well, because he's got a lot of good experience. So I want to welcome Paul Finck here. Thank you so much, Paul, for showing up. Really a pleasure to see you again.
Absolute pleasure is all mine. This has been great. Give Dan a round of applause. Thank you. He puts this together on a regular basis and just has been a great friend as well in bringing me here. I travel across the country to be here in support of everything that goes on with Dan and with the whole community here because I believe in this so much and I create a lifestyle around it, and I'll talk about all that as well. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the 7 things that you don't know are holding you back. Who here feels like they've been in this game for a while and not quite getting the results that they are looking for? This is what most of us experience. I've been in the entrepreneurial world now for over 33 years, and I know that, man, I had a lot of promises that were made to me when I first got in. I was like, yeah, this is all you have to do. X, Y, and Z. That's all. Just do that, and you'll be a millionaire. And then I do that, and it didn't quite happen as they said. Who's here ever experienced that? You know, and I would get in and I would have a whole lot of dreams and aspirations. I would envision all that was going to happen in my world, and yet when I got busy with it, it happened a little bit longer or a little bit later than I ever expected. It didn't quite happen the way the book said, didn't quite happen the way the great video, and watch out for Facebook, it all is lies. Well, not quite exactly all, however, be aware that the illusion can be so easy to buy into. And I'm going to talk about the real and what it really takes to create a lifestyle. I've been doing this for a while now, and I'll talk about why and how in just a moment. Well, I've been doing this for a while and realized that there's more to it. Welcome, everyone. There's more to it than just what the books say. There's more to it than just how it shows up on a quick video. And although for all our Facebook friends and social media friends out there, absolutely, you're going to hear some real deal. Is that okay? Some stuff that isn't just glitz and glamour, it is the real deal about how to create. Who here is envisioning a new world for themselves? Raise your hand up high. Awesome. New existence, a change. Most of the time, the people that are here in front of me, that are listening to me talk, are people that are looking for a shift, a change in their world. And I know I created it for myself, and I'm here giving back to let you know how to do it for you. Who here is interested in making sure this now works? Who here is interested in creating more abundance in their life? Raise your hand up high. More freedom, time. How about this? Who here is interested in, well, a little bit more money in their life? Raise your hand up high. Oftentimes it's the money that really gets people. It's the money that they're interested in, because regardless of how much, money can be the anti, it's still money is what makes the world go round. There's a division in our country right now, 95-5s. The 95%ers are the ones that are wanting. They're the majority of our country and our world. So 95%ers that, well, maybe depressed, maybe struggling, maybe just barely making the existence, living paycheck to paycheck, if you will, or less. And there's 5% of the country that is actually creating abundance for themselves and their community, abundance for the society. The challenge is that most people get into the challenge of saying, well, that's unfair. I'm not here to debate that. It's unfair. You get to decide which you're going to be in. That is the real key. Are you going to be in the 95% or the 5% club? When you're in the 5% club, guess what you can do? You can actually have the power to change things. You're going to be really struggling to change things when you're within the midst of it. It's hard to save the people that are drowning when you're in the water next to them. Real easy when you're on the boat. Create the vision. Create the journey, if you will, for yourself, and then watch who you can save. Most of the people up here, I know Anthony Patrick, I've known him for years. He was just up here talking, and you know, we talked together about what you can do for the rest of the world, what you can do for our society, and why we keep showing up like this the way we do every day. And it's all about creating that movement, of letting people know we've done it, and now it's your turn. We've created this movement, and we're here to tell you, yes, you can do it too. You can be a part of it and create a whole new existence. How about this? Are you interested in having a little bit less stress in your world? Maybe having more control over your life. Who here thinks that they've lost control? Yes? Lost control. When I talk about that, yeah. People are like, yeah! Yeah! Who has decided, you know, they've lost control, that things are overwhelming, that things are just in their day-to-day struggles, that they don't have control of their day, they don't have control of their time, they don't have control of what happens. That things seem to have a life of their own. I want to talk to you about some of the solutions for you on how you can create that abundance, how you can create that time control, if you will, prioritize your time effectively, and then create less stress. Who would like zero stress in their life? Raise your hand up high.
That would be great.
Yes. You are looking for, when you say yes to any and all of the equation, you're looking for maverick success. I'm Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and I talk about that is that I help people create income. It's what I created for myself. Not just income, wealth. And how to create that money so I can actually be a contributing member of society and a leader and have the time freedom to be able to do something about it. I also talk about doing it the Maverick way, doing it a little bit different. Because the way that I've learned to create is by not following what people tell me to do. Not following what most of our society says this is the way. And I'll talk about some of the belief systems that transcends our society, that seems to be permeates everywhere, and yet they don't serve most of the people that would be in front of me. Doesn't serve most of you in following. We're going to talk about that. So just imagine, if you will, the thing has a mind of its own. Just imagine, if you will, every single year that you're able to create an existence. Every single year you're able to get control of your time. Get control of your emotions. Get control of the stress that seems to be around you. And create, year after year, that existence. And we're going to talk about sometimes you miss the boat. Sometimes you miss the target. How come? What does that look like? Here's what we're going to cover. Is 7 things you don't know are holding you back from Maverick success. The 7 unfair Maverick advantages. Once you understand these concepts, what are the advantages you're going to get back from it, and how to shift your focus to create your dream life. This is delaying on me. The beliefs that are holding you back, the step-by-step process to shift your life, and the #1 reason for stress. We're going to talk about the #1 reason how to really eliminate stress in your life, how to make sure that you're able to go day by day without life hitting you. Who here would love that answer? Raise your hand up high. Stay the course of this meeting, and we will let you know exactly how to do that. I'm going to introduce you to the Maverick Tool Chest. Now, the Maverick Tool Chest is a culmination of Well, 33 years as an entrepreneur, studying and reading some of the best books around. I've got some of the biggest one of the biggest business libraries there is, over 1,000 books that I've digested and read, as well as hundreds of thousands of hours of training to create what I bring to the table for my clients, what I bring to the table for my students. And in the Maverick Tool Chest is the culmination of that. This manual here is part of it. This is equivalent of 7 hours of transcripted training that also comes with the audio and the videos, all part of the Maverick Tool Chest, and I'll talk about more of that in just a little bit. Let's get on with the details. 7 things that are holding you back from Maverick success. However, before I go any further, how many of you have heard me speak before? Raise your hand up high. Ooh, not quite as popular as I thought. That being said, I do believe that it's important to know where the voice is coming from, because when you don't know who's speaking to you, sometimes you'll either reject or accept the information, and one of those may be the wrong decision for you. Who here has ever gotten information from, I don't know, you're interested in getting help personally? You've got a relationship challenge. Who do you go to?
Google.
Who do you go to?
Google.
Google! Yes! Yes! The epitome of great information out there. Just Google it. And you get everyone's unfiltered and unvetted information without any understanding of where it's coming from. How about our friends or our family? Oh man, I want a great relationship on how to build my relationship with my wife, and I'm going to go to my best bud who's had 3 divorces. Yes! He knows a great relationship when he sees one and how to build it. Oh, he's got experience in doing it wrong. I'm always amazed at how many times we turn to the people that have totally messed it up, thinking, well, they've messed it up, they know what to do right. No, they know how to mess it up. Be clear. How about financially? Financially, you have a great business opportunity. Who do you ask for advice from?
Somebody with no money. Financial advisor.
Financial advisor, yeah. Some are great. Any financial advisors before I insult anybody? Anyway, some are awesome. Others barely are putting 2 nickels together, but they're the ones that are going to tell you how to invest your money and create millions. Oh, wow, how is this making sense? You want to get great advice. Make sure the person that you're getting advice from is walking their talk. Make sure that that person actually has tread the path before you, that has done it. Otherwise, the advice may be faulty. Who here agrees? So, let me tell you a little bit about myself real quickly. 33 years as an entrepreneur. Started off as a psychology major. Yes, I was trained to be a clinical psychologist. Now I'm a coach. I've kind of come full circle. Anyway, I got trained in clinical psychology, and I got fascinated with the human condition way back when. I've been studying the properties of how people communicate with one another for a long time, almost 35 years now. I went on and studied neuro-linguistic programming. Anybody know what neuro-linguistic programming is? Got a couple people in the room, got certified in neuro-linguistic programming. It's the communication between 2 people, or the communication between yourself and the chit-chat in your head. You know, you're not crazy, we all have it. And how do you control that chit-chat? How do you really discern whether that chit-chat is viable and moving you forward, or somebody and something not to listen to? So neuro-linguistic programming, I'm a certified hypnotherapist as well. I also went on and became a direct marketing leader. Anybody in multi-level marketing?
Yes.
Got a couple people in that, been a multi-level marketing leader since 1987. Went on and studied real estate investing. About 17 years ago, I got involved in real estate investing, and I've done almost every part of an equation and every part of a deal now. I've done short sale, wholesale, lease options, subject to residential and commercial over the last 17 years. I got into real estate with one concept in mind. I wanted to take a dart, throw it at a map of the United States on a wall and be able to do a deal, create a deal within a 10-mile radius of that dart. The way to do that, and for my approach, was to learn across the board all the different techniques, because I believe that deals are created, they're not found. that you can create deals by learning skill sets on negotiation, learning on influence and persuasion, learning how to create win-win components of deals. All of this creates that ability to create a deal out of every piece of real estate, as long as you have a couple things. You've got to have a motivated seller, or at least someone who wants to sell, and you've got to have a motivated buyer, someone who wants to buy. As long as you have those two components, every deal can be made and created to give abundance to, or at least give a win-win for everybody at the table. So what I created over the last 17 years, I went on and studied, became a real estate agent and a mortgage broker. After I was an investor, I wanted to find out how come most of my realtors were uneducated, and most of them are. The ones that are in this room are the exception to the rule, because you actually are here and part of the investor community. Most realtors that you go to that aren't investors have no idea what we do in this world. And so I went on and got my real estate license, then also became a mortgage broker, and did that for several years. I call those my transition years. Went from my old world to this world. I then went on and did over $20 million in real estate transactions over my lifetime, still going on. Global negotiator, sales strategist, and I became an international speaker trainer. Who here wants to be a speaker trainer? Raise your hand up high. Got a couple people in the room. Absolutely a key component. Now, I saw a lot of rooms that, a lot of people's hands that weren't raised. How come? You don't want to be a speaker? How come?
I don't know.
I don't know. Why? Better question, why would you want to be a speaker?
Motivate other people.
Motivate other people, inspire other people. Why would you want to be a speaker? Why else? What would it do if you were the one standing up here in front of the room? What do you think it would do for your business? Skyrocket your business. What do you think it would do for your, would it increase your credibility?
Yeah.
Yep.
In your marketplace? Would you become an authority in your marketplace? Yes. You want to skyrocket, you want a quantum leap. I talk about abundance. I talk about bringing in and prospering by positioning yourself effectively. One real key is be a speaker. Now, do you have to be a speaker in this capacity? No. You go to a networking event. Suppose there's 100 people in the room. Out of 100 people in the room, how many people do you think, on average, get on mic? Give me some feedback.
5.
5. 5, 10 people. About 5 to 10% of any room that you're in will end up on mic. Will end up being either standing up, asking a question, or in front of the room. Now, if you're in the audience, when you're in the audience, and someone stands up and speaks, gets on mic, asks a question, do you think that at the next break, they're more likely to get people running to them, or the person that didn't say a word? What do you think? The person who spoke, who's experienced this? The person who spoke, they stood up and talked about, I don't know, they asked a question about a deal that they were doing. They get like 10 people around them, don't they?
Yeah.
At the next break. Would you rather have leads coming to you, or are you chasing leads down? What do you think? Stand up and speak. Stand up and grab mic. Every chance you get, you will increase your opportunities every step of the way. That's a magical. So be an international speaker trainer in every capacity as soon as possible. Grab the mic, speak, stand up and be heard. I've spoken in 8 different continents, or 8 different countries, 3 different continents. Coach, life coach, master coach, business consultant. I'm also a 5-time best-selling author. That's actually changing as we speak. Over the next 3 months, I'm going to have 3 new books coming out that I'm going to be a part of, all driving them, all becoming bestsellers. We've got that equation dialed in. This is my latest book, Be a Success Maverick. Who here wants to be an author? Raise your hand up high. Woohoo! Got a few more hands. For those of you that didn't raise your hands, what would be an author? What would that do to you? do for you?
Passive income?
Passive income. Yes and no. Some people think, oh, being an author is actually an income-producing activity. No. What happens with the book is an income production. This is a marketing tool. As a marketing tool, being a best-selling author creates the attraction factor for you to create more in your world. It creates that authority, that integrity, that creates the attraction. When you're the author of a book, people want to know what you have to say. You've published it. Now here's the fascinating thing. Will they read the book?
No.
Usually not. It's really amazing. They want to know what you have to say. What do? They call you up. Hey, I saw you have a great book. I wanted to put you on my podcast and interview you. Well, just read my book. It's got all my information in it. Why do you need me? Oh, they don't read the book. They interview you. Who here would like to get on more podcasts and be interviewed? Raise your hand up high. These are all some of the key components when I talk about how to really explode your business. You get attraction factor. You get people running to you rather than you running to them. You're going to have more opportunities. In the real estate game, you're going to have more quality opportunities coming to your doorstep when you're the authority and the leader in your marketplace. When you have positioned yourself, here are just some of the components on making that happen. I've done over $30 million in informational products all across the country and around the world, trained tens of thousands of people, and coached people in almost every industry and every part, especially of the real estate world as well as everything else. Most of my clients have multiple streams of income, so when real estate's one part of your world, come hang out with me, and we also coach on all the other pieces of what's going on in your world to explode those other businesses. Here's the rest of the story is my beautiful bride. Give my beautiful bride Deborah a round of applause. Deborah and I started dating over 33 years ago. In the applause for my wife, it's really key because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. For those of you that are in established relationships, quality relationships, and especially the guys in the room, you'll understand, she saw more in me than I ever did in and of myself. And she moved me to be my fullest potential, or at least be on the journey. I don't believe I've reached that yet. And we're on journey every single day to create that in ourselves, and I help others now create it for them. And my wife's been the one who's driven me to reach my fullest potential and be on that journey. And so, God bless her. Here's the rest of the story.
Look at all those.
Here's the rest of the story. 6 children, 3 sets of twins. We went from a family of 4 to a family of 8 in 14 months. My financial makeup went completely upside down. I had to create a different existence. Before then, I thought I had reached my pinnacle. I was doing well. I graduated from college, and when you graduate, my vision of wealth when I was in college was, man, I ever make 6 figures? Yes! We live in the Northeast, in a county that, well, it's pretty similar to this county as far as being one of the richest counties in the country, Fairfield County, Connecticut, and I gotta tell you, $100,000, family of 8, do the math. To reach, I looked into financial aid, the dynamics of financial aid in Fairfield County, Connecticut. You could make $73,000 a year. Now, financial aid is when the government says you cannot feed yourself without our support. At $73,000 a year, they would give me support. They considered that poverty level. I didn't know how close I was to actually being poor. I just knew I was struggling. I knew that I was, every single month I was putting more and more on my credit cards, less and less in my pocket, and I knew within 36, 48 months, I'd be declaring bankruptcy or being well on my way because there was no way I was going to be able to make it with 6 children and the lifestyle we wanted to create. This is kind of what I looked like way back then. Too many bills, too little time, stressed out, stuck, stopped, overwhelmed. And over the last basically 15 years, I went from, well, this guy to being the Maverick millionaire. How did I do that? What were some of the key components? That's what the rest of this talk is all about. Really the 7 things holding me back. And let's get on. Number 1. What's holding you back from Maverick success is your mind. Internal, what's going on for you? What your thought process? Your mind's playing tricks on you. You may not even realize it right now. Here's a perfect example. 4-minute mile. 4-minute mile is something that we knew as humans, this was our limit. This was our end-all to be-all. There was no way a human could run the mile in under 4 minutes. Then there was a guy named Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister came along and said, you know what? It can happen. And you can run the mile in less than 4 minutes. And then he did it. It started off internally and went external. And he was able to accomplish it. Now you say, great for him, congratulations, God bless. He broke this limit. Only, that was him. I couldn't do it. And yet, over the next 2 years, 37 other people realized that they could, and they did it. And here's the question for you. Over the next couple of years, as these people broke the record over and over and over again, did they have the talent before Roger Bannister did to create that record?
Yeah.
Or did they all of a sudden magically have a new body, a new transformation of muscle tone, and they're now able to run faster? They had it before. They had to wait till someone else broke the record before they decided it was okay to do so. Your brain will play tricks on you and keep you limited and stuck. Now the impossible becomes possible, and you can restructure your brain to create more. Can you really just think it, and it is? Can you really just think, oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire, and then it is such? Well, it can definitely bring you to the next step. Here's some of the equation. They talk about positive mental attitude equals success. People think that success leads to happiness. It's actually the other way around. When you think positive, more success comes into your life, and you create happiness around you. When you actually smile, who here's ever smiled? You can do it, go ahead. When you smile, what happens? People smile back, don't they? They smile with you. Do you love running up to people that are really grumpy, embracing them, all so happy to have them in your life? Or would you rather have people that are smiling and happy and glorious? When you are happy and glorious, people want you in their life. And you attract more people. What I've learned, who here is interested in doubling your income? Raise your hand up high. Who here wants to be not past 6 figures? Who here wants to go to 7 figures? Raise your hand up high. I know. To create 7 figures in your world, you need more than you. You need a group of people. You need a magnitude of people by your side. Pay attention. Smile. Be happy. Happiness does create success. So, end of seminar. Be happy. Well, it may take a little bit more than that. However, when you are smiling, when you are positive, here's what the studies prove. And I'm a firm believer in studies. I'm a firm believer in what the information that we've actually researched, what it's brought to the table, and what we know of our world right now. We know in the human condition, you become 31% smarter and you sell better. You sell 37% more when you're positive and when you smile. Who here would love to close a third more of their deals? And when I talk about this stuff, I got to tell you, who's here ever heard, oh, you got to change your mindset? And people just put it aside. They just discount it. 37% increase in your success when?